All right, it's another episode of the Cedric Maxwell Podcast. I am Josue Pavone. I'm joined by Cedric Maxwell. We've got plenty to talk about around the NBA. I mean, we can go different directions here, right? We can go Kevin Durant. There's a report saying that Kevin Durant was reached out, or Steph Curry reached out to Kevin Durant, rather, about potentially coming back. We'll get into that in a little bit. Also, a former Celtic calls out LeBron James for his comments about Britney Griner, who's in custody over in Russia. We'll get into that as well, but let's keep it local, right, Max? Let's get these Celtics fans up to date here. Malcolm Brogdon, Danilo, Gallinari officially introduced as members of the Boston Celtics this week at the Auerbach Center. Man, there was plenty to take away from it. Brad Stevens making the jokes about how he's had eyes for Malcolm Brogdon since he was a teenager, right? He was trying to recruit him to come to Butler, and obviously it didn't work out. But he's happy to have him now as a member of the Celtics, although he won't be able to coach him, of course. He is a guy that Brad Stevens has had eyes on, or someone that he's always admired from afar. So, of course, there was a lot of talk about that. Danilo Gallinari talking about how he was his father grew up a huge Celtics fan, a huge Larry Bird guy. He was watching games as a kid back in Italy. Probably saw some of your games too, Max. But he was raised a Celtics fan, I guess. And I thought that was pretty cool. Malcolm Brogdon talking about how his grandfather was a huge Bill Russell fan and someone that he learned a whole lot about growing up, what Bill Russell meant to the league and to the game of basketball. So they're saying all the right things, Max, of course. And everyone's wondering, is this the deepest team or one of the deepest teams in the NBA? Where do you fall in that conversation?
I think it's a deep squad. When you think about who they are and what they can do, obviously bring in Brogdon. He said the right things the other day. Look, I'm not here trying to compete with Marcus Smart. I'm here to win a championship. So the right things are being said. Gallinari, a guy who wants to, be around to win a championship, who's been in the league, who's made money, came up, started out with the Knicks and has moved around to different teams. But he brings the ability to knock down shots and overpower smaller guys. He's legitimate, probably about 6'9", maybe 6'10", can shoot the ball from the outside. So what that would do, it would insulate Tatum. It would insulate Brown. So if you fell off one of those guys, you kick it out to a guy like Gallinari who can knock down shots with some consistent form in the shot. So I like what the Celtics have. I like what Brad has done. I still wish they had spent that $17 million if they are.
Well, they got the weekend, I guess. They got a couple of days.
Obviously not my money, but I would like to bring somebody in with a little toughness, somebody who has a little edge to him. And we talked before, about different guys. You think about guys who have an edge to them. Morris Sr. would be the guy. Think about
my God,
who can still knock down shots from the outside and just doesn't take a lot of shit. And you've seen him over the years. He's always been in a skirmish, and the Celtics need a little bit of edge to him.
He's not letting opponents into the huddle, right? He's not.
No. He's not doing that. So I think that the Celtics would love to, if you could get him and bring him in with a little edge. I would like that with his ability to get out, knock down shots, but also to get up in guys' face and make it a little bit more comfortable for guys in this league. And this league is now so much like a gentleman's league. Like, okay, let me help you to your chair. Hey, your seat this way. Let me be the maitre d'. And, I think be like that if you're playing winning basketball.
Let's take pictures at the all-white party, even though you knocked my ass out of the NBA Finals. It's all love. Yeah. Anyways, I digress. I'm with you, Max.
Ain't that much love in the world right now, man, when I think about that. My broadcast partner, Sean Grandy, we were, after Golden State won it in Boston.
Wait. Hold on, Max. You're saying you wouldn't be taking pictures with James Worthy? Like, what's up, man? Yeah, man, it's all good.
We had, after the game, obviously the Celtics had lost. And so we're wrapping up our season. And Sean is going on and talking. And then finally gets to the point at the end, it finishes. And then said, we have some cameos that we've done, like the cameos where you get paid to say something.
Happy birthday or Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Like, we got a couple cameos here. I said, dude, I'm not doing a cameo. Jimmy, I'd like to say hello to you. And in the background right now is Golden State there. Won't wish you a happy birthday, but Golden State right now is celebrating winning on the Celtics floor. No. So I think sometimes you just got to think it up a little bit more. And that was one of the cases where I'm like, nah, I didn't have it for it after that. I'd given pretty much all I did as an analyst during that whole series. I was done.
Yeah, I don't blame you, Max. I mean, that's a first for you, right? You've never seen that before. Have you ever seen an opposing team celebrate a championship on the parquet like that?
Yeah, I have.
You have?
Yeah, I was on the team.
No, I mean as a broadcaster, though. Oh, yeah.
Oh, as a broadcaster.
That's even worse, though. You're right. That's even worse as a player.
Yeah,
that's
the opposing team, the Lakers came in, 84. We beat them in 84. I had the huge 7th game. And then
I'm on my back.
Then 85, they came in here and they beat us in this building to win it, to win the championship. And the probably one of the worst moments for me as a Celtic in the fact that Casey Jones didn't even put me in the basketball game. And that was just very disheartening as a player. Not knowing, knowing I was hurt, but it was still just like, dude, you're down. Do something. Do a Hail Mary or something. Put me in the game, just see if you can get a spark. So that was kind of rough for that last game. So yeah, I've seen people celebrate, on the parquet, winning a championship.
But either way, you weren't trying to do no cameo at that time.
No.
I dig it. I get it.
I'm good, dog. I'm good with the cameo.
Well, yeah, like you said about Gallinari, though, it gives them, in my opinion, it gives Ime some flexibility with the lineup, right? You can do some tinkering. You can put him in there as a starter. If Al Horford needs a night off on the second night of a back-to-back, which has already been reported by The Athletic, a couple of weeks ago or last week, rather, you're able to do that with someone like Gallinari, who's going to give you that offensive production, who's going to force opposing teams to guard him, right? I mean, that's, again, we talked about it last week. That's just a weapon the Celtics did not have. Coming off the bench. Yeah, Derek White contributed in game 1 against the finals, but trying to find that consistency from your second unit, I think it has to be a goal going into this season. And I think these two guys certainly check off those boxes. And I like how you brought up the fact that Marcus Smart, that's the last thing Brogdon wants to do. He wants to compete. He wants to add to this team, as he said. He wants to add to the talent. He knows how close these guys were. Everyone does. I mean, that's what happens. That's the luxury you have of playing in the NBA Finals. Now other players are like, wait, I can help those guys. I know what those guys need. And then you have someone like Gallinari who left an offer on the table for the Chicago Bulls and wanted to sign with the Celtics because he thought that would be a better shot for him to win a championship. So that's huge.
And that's the good thing about it. I even, moving, just a bit away from that, it made me think when you talked about, second nights of back-to-back and letting guys rest. It's real interesting to hear what the commissioner said. He had the end of the state of the state, and talking about how players need to be incentivized a little bit more in playing more games to give more incentive. I'm like, do you need to be? I think this was all done. That load management stuff was all created really by Greg Popovich. Now so look, I'm resting my guys when I want to rest them, and. And I understand that part of, if you were...
And what's funny, too? Not to cut you off, but real quick. Remember those B teams? They would still win sometimes. No Ginobili, no Duncan, no Parker, and the guys like Boris Diaw would step up, Patty Mills or whatever. It was still a really good team. But it shows your depth. It showed the depth that they had.
Yeah, they had a system, and they ran it well. I just believe at the end of the day that players are going to, and it's unfortunate. I understand what they say about, guys who, if you were a fan and you saved all your money for one ticket and the Celtics were coming to town and you find out that Tatum is not going to play, and it's not because he's not hurt, but it's because the day he needed rest. And that happens in almost any business where, you have sick days. You can call in. I don't care if you're talking about, basketball or not. It's still guys gives an opportunity to rest themselves so they can be a little bit fresher when you think about winning the championship. So it was something to hear the commissioner, Adam Silver, talk about what they're going to try to do when it comes to players. And even the thing to look over and saying how Indiana tried to make a huge splash and get DeAndre Ayton. They signed him to some kind of $140 million offer sheet for 3 or 4 years and $40 million a year, and it made Phoenix go back and say, let's check that box. We're gonna match that. So I think you have to do that if you're Phoenix.
Oh, what a mistake! Yeah, no, you had to. No, you're right. But what a mistake to let it go to this far. Why'd you let it go this far?
Man, that was there. He probably could have signed for less. You
had to make that decision weeks ago, Max. You can't just go into free agency and be like, oh, nobody's gonna offer him anything. Like this is a guy who helped you, was a key part in that run to the NBA.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing, Josue, and you remember what happened with Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart was left out there and thought he was going to get more money than he did. And the Celtics offered him about $15 million, and I think they gave him $16 million at the end because he didn't have any takers. Aid wasn't going to be like that because he's a center playing this league. He can do so many other things, score the basketball for you. So for them to leave him unprotected and make him go out and get an offer sheet, good for him. And mud in their face for allowing it, as you said, to get that far.
Absolutely. I'm not surprised that they matched it, but I was surprised that Indiana swooped in there. And the first thing I thought was, oh, now they got to give him a bag. They got to give him the bag reluctantly. That's going to be an awkward conversation. Like,
and that's something else too, which, sometimes pisses a player off even more.
Absolutely. It has to.
I've been loyal to you. We almost won the championship, but you didn't want to give me my bag until you're forced
somebody else. Exactly. You knew someone else was going to get it.
And sometimes them players harbor, they harbor some animosity towards the team, but that's kind of the way it goes. I think that's the gamble they took. And for them, they got burnt this time.
Our next partner has a product I use literally every day. This episode of Cedric Maxwell Podcast is brought to you by Athletic Greens. I started taking AG1 because I wanted a well-balanced diet and I wanted something to improve my everyday lifestyle. I didn't have the time. Wanted better gut health, more energy, optimized immune system, hated taking pills, vitamins. I wanted a supplement that actually tastes great. Wanted to see what the hype was about. All right, I know what you guys are probably guessing. What is this stuff, right? Well, with one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source ingredients, probiotics, and adaptogens to help start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging. All the things. An extra dose of energy is always something that can help me get through my day. And what's great about AG1 is that it's lifestyle friendly. It contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything, while still tasting good. Support better sleep quality and recovery. It costs you less than $3 a day. You're investing in your health, and it's cheaper than that cold brew habit. Tons of people take some kind of multivitamin, and it's important to choose one with high-quality ingredients that your body will actually absorb. Athletic Greens was created when the founder experienced a ton of gut health issues and ended up on a complicated supplement routine to recover. It cost him $100 a day. He created Athletic Greens after experiencing how difficult it was to create an optimal nutrition routine on your own. Athletic Greens has over 7,000 5-star reviews and is recommended by professional athletes. Right now is the time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop and a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Cedric. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/Cedric to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. That's athleticgreens.com/Cedric.
Absolutely. All right, let's transition to across the NBA. I guess we're already here, so to speak, right? To what a report from Fox Sports. Fox Sports is Rick Bucher, who's a veteran reporter, NBA reporter, has been around since I was a kid. I used to watch him growing up. And this is what he wrote in his recent article. A league source says Steph Curry has reached out several times to Durant, eager to improve his chances of winning a 5th championship and surpassing LeBron James, with whom Curry is currently tied with 4 titles, Buca Row. Max, if you're Golden State, would you even consider a Kevin Durant reunion in San Francisco?
I would.
You would?
I would
Right.
because he's
got to consider it.
He's been in that system before. When he came there before, he didn't buck the system. And Kevin Durant doesn't seem like he wants to, he's going to lead when he needs to, but he understands part of that's still Steph's team. So if I'm Steph Curry and I got an opportunity to come out and get him after what they did with him, that's a no-brainer. I take that all day. People's like, well, he might tip the apple cart. Well, he tipped it and won you 2 championships and was a Finals MVP in both.
Almost got a third, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get it. I would do the same thing if I'm Golden State, and this is, of course, without touching any members of that core, right? I'm thinking of the space surrounding.
I don't know how you would do that if you're them. Now,
I mean, that's the best I can do if I'm Golden State. I'm not going to send one of my guys after they won a championship. I'm not sending Clay or Draymond or not even Curry, obviously.
No, but I mean, I don't know. I would
Wiggins, Kuminga, Jordan Poole, something like that with a bunch of picks.
I mean, Wiggins proved that where he was this year, and he was no nonsense, and he just got the job done. But I don't think that you could say you can't tell me that he wouldn't be an upgrade for that team with his ability to score. As good as Wiggins was, what we know about Durant is that much better. Now, ego-wise, does he fit in? When you win with a team, I think that you could. Who would they have to give up? Maybe a Wiseman, and you wouldn't give up Wiseman and
to be Wiseman and Jordan Poole, or Wiseman, Jordan Poole, Kuminga, something like that. It had to be those 3 guys.
Oh, even if I was, thinking, the other way, would you put Wiggins in there? Would Wiggins be a guy?
I would.
So if I'm Golden State, I think about that really hard.
Yeah, I would.
He keep one core here, and Wiseman didn't do anything for him when they won this last championship. So yeah, I could think about moving, and I think that would be a huge asset for a Brooklyn team getting a young big like that
that's big,
who has no polish on him, and he may get some things done.
Honestly, you look across the league, and of course, I'm sure they're doing their due diligence and trying to figure out what's the best offer, what's the best that they can do. And I can't help but wonder is how far off is Golden State with an offer like that? You throw a big in there, Andrew Wiggins. I don't know. I'm spitballing here, right? Maybe 3 future first rounds. I mean, after what these guys got for Gobert, maybe they got to throw in 4 future first rounders. Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole. That's not a terrible package, especially when you look at what they did in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, that was big. I mean, Jordan Poole is grown into
Jordan Poole and Wiggins.
Who he is. I could see them doing that. Making that kind of move. Wiggins is going to be there for a while. Poole, you might have to end up giving them more money. But if you're Brooklyn, you want to make a splash, I could see that happening. And I think it takes you out of championship contention though. But if you get those guys, it puts you into a mix of being able to start to attract other guys. And the one thing you don't want to be in New York, you don't want to be worse than the Knicks. You do not want to be in Brooklyn right now. After the year that they had and collecting pieces, it would just be horrible for Brooklyn to be sitting on the sideline going, all that stuff. When the guy, the public address guy goes, Brooklyn.
Oh, Brooklyn. So annoying.
Yeah, so.
Speaking of New York, Max, you're not going to believe this, but they're going to go into the organization. The Knicks organization is going to go into the new season, and for the first time in the past 6 years, Joakim Noah is not on the payroll.
I heard that.
How crazy is that?
Well, God bless them. New York.
I wanted to surprise you with that. You heard it? Oh, man,
no, I read today with that, but New York teams have done some crazy stuff.
That's wild, though.
Who is the one of the
this
guys?
This man hasn't played basketball for the Knicks in 3 years, man.
It's worse than that. Didn't the Mets still are
4
paying?
years.
The Mets are still paying right now. Who's that guy? Bobby Bonilla. Bobby Bonilla is still getting paid right now from the Mets, like $3 million a year. So something crazy. So
chill.
So the New York teams do some crazy stuff, and you know they'll invest in something, and all of a sudden they'll de-invest with it. You know, you think about how Kimber came there, and it was like he had that one game against us, and then after that it was like,
yeah.
all right, Kimber, you're on the bench, you're not gonna play anymore. It's like, damn,
that was quick.
And I heard,
they were like, we've seen this movie before, guys. Let's just stop it now.
I've heard some people in Charlotte telling me that they wouldn't mind having Kimber as a backup point guard. So,
we'll see.
You wish the best for Kimber. Such a nice dude, man, and things do happen, but that's how this league is.
Yeah, that's how it is, man. It's just unfortunate because you know the kind of guy he is and the kind of hard worker, but your body's saying wanting another thing, and you want him to do something else, and it's something you can really do at this stage in your career. You know,
as you and I like to say, keeping on the 100, get your bag first. He got his bag, he got paid, and now you establish something for your afterlife in basketball, which is
absolutely
normally going to be a lot more than your playing days. I mean, consider I played 11 years. And I've been a broadcaster for 26 years. So your playing days, I know it would have been longer now with help and everything like that. But, maybe I could have got to 15 years. But you're still going to, your other career, you got a lot of life left once you, come out of the game.
Yeah, one of BX's finest for sure, man, from the Bronx, New Yorker himself as well. Before we transition from Kevin Durant, you know the question I'm going to ask you, right? The hypothetical, if this Golden State thing were to happen, what happens to Durant's legacy? Does it tarnish his legacy if he wins another one with these guys? If he wins another 2, is there only much for him to gain at this point? Is he a failure for the Brooklyn thing? What do you
how do you tarnish his gain? How do you tarnish his legacy? He's a 2-time Finals MVP. He has been a multiple times. He was a MVP in the league. He has been all-star games how many times? So to me, if you start you're nitpicking when you start thinking about, well, it's going to tarnish his legacy if he goes back and wins another championship. No, it doesn't. I heard people saying stuff about him like, well, he didn't make this guy better. He didn't make this guy better. Well, that doesn't always happen. But what he did, he won 2 championships, and you can never take that away from who he is. He arguably is one of those guys. Again, if he moves wherever he moves, he changes the needle, and the needle is going to move one way or the other. And most of the times, when Kevin Durant gets there, that needle is pointing upward towards you getting the opportunity to win the championship.
Yeah. No, I mean, the reason I asked is just because I can't help but wonder. Well, not even wonder, but I feel like a lot of it, him leaving Golden State in the first place, had to do with him wanting to just start over in the sense of being, look, I built this, but again, Durant's the kind of guy who listens to the narrative out there, Max. He hears the people saying, oh, you had to join those guys to win championships. Oh, you had a 3-1 lead against those guys and you still couldn't beat them. I can't help but wonder. That gets to him. That gets to him. Come on, man.
Always said
the burner account, the Twitter burner accounts.
Be careful what you ask for. You might get it. He wanted Kyrie Irving with him in Brooklyn. How'd that work out for him?
That was a mistake. That was a mistake.
Okay. So at that point, be careful what you ask for. You never can tell.
But what are Nets fans going to say, though? What are they going to say? They're already saying.
I don't
you
care
quit. You got 4 years on your contract, and you quit already.
And wait a minute, let me see what that's going to do to me if you told me that. I'm leaving there with about almost 160, 70 million. And you think
how Durant feels?
Yeah, you think you're criticizing? Now, he would take it maybe differently, be pissed off. Me, I'd be like, let me see. I'm going to go someplace where I can win another championship. And I can tell everybody just to eat humble pie. I mean, it's the same way if you look at Draymond. As much shit as I talked about him and other people talked about him, Draymond at the end of the day won. He won another championship.
Yeah.
Now, is he the...
He's enjoying his last laugh, Max. You know that. It's okay.
Yeah, and
that's for him.
And it might
good for him. You should.
Who knows? It might not be his last laugh. So, I mean, he's in a perfect position in the catbird seat where, you know, his skill set is perfect for what they do for that team. He would not be perfect for the Boston Celtics or a lot of other teams because they require you to score.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We'll wait and see. Well, what's your prediction? Do you think what happens here? Does he ultimately get his wish? Is he dealt? Does he stick around? I don't think he's going to hold this organization hostage. I don't think he's that kind of guy who's going to force himself to sit out. But
I think that he's going to move and go someplace. But Brooklyn is holding the cards now because they have him under contract. So what is he going to do? If he says, you know, hey, we want you to stay, and he comes back, but how does it look if, in fact, now he decides to stay in Brooklyn? What kind of animosity does the fan base, as you say, have towards him? Is he able to be, and what we know about him is he thick-skinned enough to accept that kind of criticism from his home fans? And there was a real, I mean, you can go back and probably Google this or whatever it is, but Durant was on the court in Brooklyn. And some fan who was in the front row said, Kevin, you got to take over this game. And the referee looked at him, and Kevin turned around and looked at the fan and said, I know what you need to do. Shut the fuck up. And the referee looked at the guy and looked at Kevin like, I can't believe you said that to your own fan. So thick-skinned, he's not. You know, for me, it would be like, you said, what about me? And I'm here winning the championship. I wouldn't get into those things. Yeah. If there's one thing that I wish that he would do, is that he's one of the few guys that just take the phone and throw it away, bro. Take it and throw it away.
Put a limit on that thing. Put like an hour day limit or something.
Just stop it. Stop it. You don't need that. You don't need, you are, you know, I remember seeing this in Thor. You are ant. You're a giant with a boot on, and those other people are ants. And you know, you just use that boot to stomp them, but he can't do that. I mean, to have a battle right now with that guy Nick Gelso, what is that about?
Yeah, and this isn't the first time either. Like, what's going on here?
And if you're Kevin Durant, you're giving that kind of guy credibility.
Yeah.
Instead of ignoring it, nobody be like, Nick who? But now, the guy who fought with, you know, who's going back and forth with Durant. You give people fuel. I mean, so I like to normally take that fuel away, but this kind of crazy.
And according to reports, he's gone dark. He's not talking to much people. He's not, you know, reaching out to guys. And he did pull up to different places and making public appearances, but he's been tight-lipped.
Let me two words here. Thank you.
Well, you don't want to hear him talking?
As a reporter, I know they must be going crazy. But as a guy who's a big Kevin Durant fan, that's what I'd say. I say, Kevin, go dark. Go dark, bro. You ain't got to go back and forth.
Let your agent take care of that business. Just enjoy the summer.
Here's the thing. He's one of, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't he one of the top 75 players of all time?
He was, yeah. He's in there.
Dude, thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of guys have probably played in the NBA. And
one of the greatest scorers.
Yes,
honestly.
Yes. So you're having a fight over somebody in the basement because they're tweeting something about you? I mean, it's like sometimes the whole Draymond thing, I mean, I scanned just for 1 second just to see some people saying something bad about me. But I wasn't trying to respond to those guys.
Yeah.
Those guys who are responding, who are going at me on Twitter, let me say, none of them have ever played a fucking game in their life. Not the NBA game. Not the
Not
NBA
at this level.
They might have played in the backyard. They might have played in college or whatever it is. But I ain't seen one of those guys yet, in the league. So
Right.
you're telling you, oh, all you could shoot was layups, and all you did was this, and you did that. Well, look, I was in the league. I made history in this league. And you can hate me, do whatever it is you want to, and say I'm full of shit, or, oh my God, I came on Larry Bird's coattails. Well, that's not true. Larry Bird's first championship, I was there. I was the Finals MVP. His second one that he won versus the Lakers, that was my 24-8-8 game. So I've been able to, I wasn't driving the bus, but I wasn't in the back seat either. Mm-hmm. So I'll put it to you like that with people who want to, just kind of belittle you and go at you. And, like I said, we appreciate you guys to subscribe. And even
with that being said,
even the people who hate me, Josue, God bless you for coming on. Give me this time in your life to be critical about me, critical over me. I love it, because that means you have stopped your day to formulate a sentence about me. I'm that important in your world to at least be in your mind for. I have a small little condo in your head.
Yeah, it's true. Well said. Well said. Well, let's transition to this former Celtic who's recently spoken out about what LeBron James said on a recent episode of his barbershop show on HBO. It's called The Barbershop, HBO Barbershop, LeBron's Barbershop. He talked about Britney Griner and what's going on. Everyone knows, WNBA star Britney Griner is in a Russian jail cell on drug charges. She pled guilty. She's facing up to 10 years. They take marijuana really seriously over there. And LeBron James spoke about it. At least a brief clip of the new episode that's going to debut. And he said, I want to make sure I get this right. And I quote, now, how can she feel like America has her back? I would be feeling like, do I even want to go back to America? Guess who recent former Celtic responded probably, I don't know, within 48 hours, as soon as he heard about it, probably. Enes Kanter Freedom spoke out, calling out LeBron James. Right? Shocker, right? You're shocked.
No, Freedom.
He tweeted this out. You can call it a step back. We call this a walk back. You are free to leave, buddy. Or you can even volunteer for an exchange for her. Some people literally have, in capital letters, no idea what it's like to live in a dictatorship. Keep taking your freedom for granted. What do you think about that?
Well, all of us can talk a certain way because we have the freedom to speak out. And with Kanter, what he's saying, he lived in a dictatorship where he wasn't allowed. He can't even go back to Turkey right now to see part of his family. Because
years ago, he couldn't even go to Canada.
Yeah.
He was, they could have grabbed him in.
Yeah, well, he could go to Canada, but
now he can, but before he was
afraid. What they wanted to do, they wanted to have security around him when he came in the building. And so, yeah, I think in certain cases, LeBron's been so spot on. In this case, and maybe again, I'd have to hear him say it. But in this case, this one time I don't agree with LeBron when it comes to get your back with what I want. That girl couldn't wait to get back here. When she hits, I guarantee you, when she finally hits America's soil, she's gonna go down and kiss the ground here in America and say, "Thank God, I'm home. I'm home." But LeBron to say, America got us back and all that stuff was like, okay. Now you said the whole thing, and about, you talk about marijuana use and they take it serious. I don't know if they take it as serious. They take it more serious because she was a celebrity.
Who she is. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
The average Russian can get over there and smoke a joint in Red Square and nobody probably wouldn't say a word to him. But because
it's political. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a political theater she's in right now. They're making an example. And
yeah, but Max, let me ask you this though. If it was, I don't know, Damian Lillard or Donovan Mitchell, you think they would be over 100 days by now, still in custody?
That is.
And listen, hold on. Let me be clear though. Let me be clear. This isn't just about gender based, but it's about business. It's about the bag. And let's face it, in my opinion, this has a lot to do with the fact that not that the government is not taking it seriously, but I feel like not enough people are taking this thing seriously, or not enough people are trying to, outrage or even protest it, because the lack of viewership, the lack of fans compared to NBA.
But you can protest all you want to. At the end of the day, the Russians have the opportunity to keep her there. She pleaded guilty because she feels like, and I think she's rolling the dice, that they're saying, okay, time served, go ahead and go home. I can tell you this, once she gets back here, she ain't gonna want to drink no Grey Goose. Anything from Russia, she'd be like, oh man, I think Grey Goose is from Russia. I'm not sure. But, Russian vodka, Stolies or whatever.
Any vodka, she's like, nope.
Yeah,
nope, not doing it.
I'm good. I'm keeping that on the 100. I don't want none of that. I think, no, I'm good.
I just feel like the attention around this thing, it took way too long, man. Like, look, I commend the Celtics, members of the Celtics team wearing the BG shirts, or, Warriors players wearing the BG shirts, we are BG during the NBA finals, because that's the grand stage. That's when you're gonna get the most eyes. When you're gonna get people. And the QR code, I thought was brilliant. Guys can see, people can scan their phone. Oh, what's BG? And then boom, it's right on your phone, and you're caught up to speed. You didn't have to put WNBA or Britney Griner or anything on there like that. So I thought that was good that these guys are stepping up and they're being vocal. But it's a bit disappointing that this isn't on the news as often as it should be.
But I think that news cycle for what she's done, that news cycle just goes, Josue. You don't stay in the news cycle forever. It's like, once she comes home, then what do you think the next cycle is going to be? It might be with her for a couple of days, and after that, she might be introduced at a WNBA game, and that news cycle is going to go away quickly, because I just don't think it has as you're saying right now, has the clout or the imagination for the American people with all the things going on right now. I think that when you talk about inflation, gas is damn near $5 plus almost $6 a gallon. I think, and it's just unfortunate that I think that people don't think about Britney Griner, but she is on that back page right now that people aren't interested in that subject.
Well, she did send a letter to President Biden saying not to forget about her, and that she understands how busy he is, and she hopes that they can do the best that they can.
That's what you think you have to send a letter to President Biden saying don't forget about it?
That's what CNN was telling me, man. CNN said that Britney, that's what she wrote. According to her lawyer, that was verbatim. A few of the quotes from that letter.
Do you think that she has to write a letter for for him to say, hey, please don't forget about me, sir?
She doesn't have to, but if I was her, I'd be writing every week. Man, I'd be hitting up Joe. I'd be like, yo, Joey, what's good? Don't forget about me, bro. Like, I would be hitting him up all the time.
Well, I think it is, I can't wait for her to
I like my freedom, Max. I really like my freedom.
Oh, God.
That's just me.
And that's why I'm saying what LeBron said is kind of crazy. When you think about, she might not want to come back. Man, she can't wait to get back. Right. She can't wait for that plane to land someplace.
And not for nothing though, Max. Also, if I'm Britney, I'm like, man, I'm not in your tax bracket. Maybe you can go up and live in some other country, but I got to get back to playing. I got to keep, you know what I mean? Like,
gotta get paid. I need to get paid.
Right, and that's her best opportunity is to come back into the States. It kind of. Yeah, I gotta hear I don't know the context of it, because again, it was like what 30-second clip of that episode, but I guess we'll find out soon when they debuts on HBO, the new episode of LeBron James's The Barbershop.
Yeah, we'll find out, bro. We'll find out.
I guess that's barbershop talk, though. People do say some outlandish shit, so I guess that I guess that kind of is fitting what he said. You ever be in a barbershop where you're going back and forth with somebody and the other dude's getting so mad because he's losing the argument and he just says something so ridiculous and he tries to convince himself in front of everybody. Everyone's like, no, you don't believe that, man. You just got boxed in. Like, maybe that's what happened.
There is something, and I think it was brilliant on LeBron James' part to bring the barbershop in, because it's always been one of these places where opinions and things that happen, and it's like you walk in, it's like, damn, man, you wanna, how about, I can't believe you said that Draymond or Draymond followed you, or that why didn't the Celtics win? It's like,
when you got the floor and everyone's listening to you and you're just going in the middle of your shit and someone's going back and forth with you, and like, oh man, it's good.
Barbershop, man. That is the barbershop, yes.
And he's got different guests every time. And man, one episode he had Tom Brady. Who else? What was it? Kid Cudi was one of my favorite musicians who like not a lot of people know about. Like he'll get like a random group of people, of actors, and I like that because everyone has their own point of view and unique perspective.
Boy, did he get something 40? What's 40's name?
E40. Yeah, when you called him W40, I lost it,
man. I ain't mad at him, but I didn't know who he was. Dude, I'm 67. I don't know those damn E40.
No, I know, man. I don't think you know, but it's just funny.
No offense to him at all. You know, he could be one of the greatest rappers out there doing his thing. That's just not my table setting right now. I don't know that.
That's not your ping pong table. I got you.
No, like ping pong back at you. Yeah. Okay. All right.
So, all right. You go. Yeah, I love the way he introduced himself, man. He was really formal. That's how you got to do. You always got to respect your elders at all times. What's his name? Earl South African. He gave you his government name, which cracked me up. I had no idea what his real name was.
I didn't even know he gave me that. I thought somebody was introducing him as something 40.
Something 40. It was Gary. Gary was like, "Oh, hey, this is E40. This is his name."
All I know what my
thing. A funny exchange, man.
40 acres and a mule. That's as far as I can go with you, bro. That's all I got. Ain't got no more than that.
Oh, that's a classic line right there.
Yeah.
Where did that come from, by the way? I learned it from rap. That's the thing about when you listen to a lot of rap music, you hear these old sayings and classic things.
What was that drink back in the day that people say that going back? Is it let's go get a 40? Is that 40?
Yeah, 40 ounce,
yeah.
40.
Yo, man, that's about as good as I can get. Yo, man, let's go do a 40, man. It's like, okay.
If I had to guess, Max, if I had to put money on it, that probably inspired this name. I'm guessing. Yeah, 40. That 40 part.
I get it.
Oh man, that was hilarious. Good stuff. I can't wait to I want to see what other kind of rappers you run into, man. It'd be funny.
Only one I can remember being close to was, and I think I was actually in my late 30s, and they had a club in Atlanta, and it was called 30 Up. So you had to be 30 and above to get in it. And I'm on the dance floor. Oh man,
where's that club at now?
No, it's been gone. I'm on the dance floor. I'm giving them my best moves. I'm, and my thing, think I'm going. But there's a guy beside me, and he's just like, he work. I mean, this dude is working. I'm like, damn, who is this dude? Finally realized. Oh no, dude! Finally, he realized it was MC Hammer. What? Getting it, like he was performing on the show. He did that, that spin.
Was he doing like the leg thing and shit? Like,
no, he hadn't gotten the typewriter yet. The typewriter wasn't in.
The typewriter.
That wasn't it. Let's call the typewriter, or is it the piano? Which one is it?
This is before my time, Max. I don't know. I just remember I just remember seeing highlights of those baggy, ridiculous pants, and he was like going back and forth, like, go hammer, something like that.
And you're going to make me go now. See, you're going to go make me watch a video right now of MC Hammer, man, just see what the hell happened.
Oh, man. All right. I'm gonna put on some MC Hammer videos, and everyone enjoy. Y'all go enjoy y'all weekend, man. We'll check in with y'all next week.
Hammer time. Because if you do Hammer time, you keep it on the 100, bro. You keep it on the 100.
if I had to guess, was that one of the few people where you were like not into, but you were like he's entertaining. You must have sort of liked him.
Oh, I loved MC Hammer. I went and saw him at the show one time. And
did you really? Is that your only rap show? That's a rap show, Max. You went to a rap show.
Hammer wasn't a rapper though, man. I think that rappers would be offended if you said MC Hammer was a
rapper. What did he say?
He really was. MC Hammer was an entertainer. Wasn't a rapper. I was thinking him being a rapper. He wasn't. He wasn't a rapper. He has such a mixture, and the reason they call it MC Hammer was because he used to be a ball boy for I think it was the Oakland Athletics, and he would be dancing. And somebody said, "You look like Hank Aaron," so that's why they call him the Hammer.
I didn't know it.
That's how he got the nickname.
Did you talk to him in the club that day in Atlanta?
I did not. I've never really spoke. I'm trying to think. I very seldom have I. I don't. You know me. I'm not a person that speaks to a lot of celebrity people. You know, because I got some people that, like a Denzel, people like that. But I can't name a lot of people that,
No, you met Bill Clinton like 3 years ago. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, but I don't. But I'm just talking about just current celebrities right now. I can't have like I see LeBron James or I see who is it? Magic Johnson has a trip he does every year with his yacht, and he takes LL Cool J with him. And I remember seeing all those people, Queen Latifah at Kobe's thing, and it was just like, wow, really, it's interesting to see how they would be in real life.
Yeah,
real life. What is LL Cool J about? That would be interesting. I know people always say that that they would like to know the same thing about the most athletes, but that would be something that because I think athletes and rappers all want to be rappers. All the rappers want, and then for a while, all the basketball players want to be rappers.
They wanted to be rappers.
So the union,
the youngest
two. They go back and forth. You think about Dame Lillard.
This generation doesn't know. Okay, well, they know about Dame Lillard, but they remember when Allen Iverson tried to rap? They remember when Kobe Bryant was in a rap video? He had a verse on the brain he saw. Kobe had some bars. Like, that was the thing. Shaq had a couple of albums.
Shaq had some bars?
Shaq had some albums. He had Biggie on one of his songs.
Yeah.
That was a legitimate thing.
That was one when he was on the thing where he was rapping, talking about Kobe. Tell me how my ass tastes. Damn, Shaq.
I forgot all about that. And that was 24 hours after the Celtics beat the Lakers in the finals, man. Oh, wait.
Well,
petty.
A lot of basketball players want to have studios.
Yeah, that's true.
In their house. Because they want to legitimately be, kind of rappers.
Yeah.
But you can't.
The rappers love the ball lifestyle too.
Yeah. And
the competition.
Man, you think about it, that's what Snoop was saying. It was Snoop and Kevin Garnett. That video together. It was like he said, and Kevin Garnett said it. Most he said, and Snoop said, y'all want to be like us, and we want to be like you. He was referring to the two cultures which you think are, kind of crazy like that.
Absolutely. The ones that I grew into and still into it till today, man. Hip hop and basketball.
Yeah, but who are your rappers that you think about when you say, okay, this guy right here is a rap, and I'm gonna see that I know who the hell you're talking about. Your go-to 5 rappers.
Right now?
Your go-to 5 rappers.
Oh man, Kendrick's number 1 right now. He's got the best album of the year. Kendrick Lamar.
Don't know nothing about him.
What? I'll put you on the Kendrick. J. Cole.
Kendrick Lamar. I don't know if I've ever heard the song that he's had.
You should listen to All Right. That was a huge during Black Lives Matter movement when it first that was a rallying cry for that. We gonna be all right. You might recognize if you hear it. We gonna be all right. I'll send it to you. It's vulgar. You'll like it. Who else? Kendrick, J. Cole. I'm still a Kanye guy. His best music is His best music is behind him, but I still listen to his new stuff.
Okay.
Like I said, Kid Cudi. I like Kid Cudi. I'm different though. You know, I'm a little. You know, but guys like Kendrick and J. Cole, they're mainstream for sure.
Is Drake a rapper?
Drake's a rapper, yes, but he just dropped like a dance album. But he's doing a little something different right now.
Do you consider him a rapper right now?
I do. I just wish he would do it more often. Like I love his older stuff when he was more of strictly a rapper who would also sing the hook. Now it's sort of the other way around, and his albums are like mostly ballads, and you get like a few songs where he's rapping. But yeah, I miss the old Drake, as some people would say. For sure. Take Care is his best album, in my opinion.
So only one I can think about that, the one rapper that guys used to laugh about me all the time because I used to wear it. I used to wear a Tupac shirt. So they started calling me.
You used to wear Pac shirts? Hey.
Tupac. Tupac, there's still right now, there's a lot of stuff that I still like that, that might be one of the few guys on my playlist that all eyes on me. And
Max, if you ever want to pull up with the Beamer and we can go blast some All Eyes on Me with the top down, I'm down. Summertime.
Picture me rolling. That was one of my favorites.
Yes.
That was one of my favorites right there.
I had no idea. What? Man. All Eyes on Me is a classic. Me Against the World.
When there's someone, they shit the DA, she has a lot to say about me. Look at me now. Where am I right now? Picture me rolling. Picture me rolling. I was like, damn.
That's fresh. That's Pac fresh out of jail, Pac right there.
Whoa,
he get a lot.
I told him when I get home, it's on. It's like, damn. Tupac. It's like, man, he will live like him and Biggie. Those are the guys I would say. And
I'm a huge Biggie guy.
I would have loved to have seen Biggie because this is some of his raps. He would come to the studio with nothing written down and just freestyle. The closest I think I've ever been to rappers probably was in Cleveland, of all places. Rick Pitino.
What was that?
Rick Pitino.
Rick Pitino got bars? He be rapping? What?
No. We were we were coming in for an exhibition game in Cleveland. Late one night, and we come from Boston. It wasn't late at night. It's probably around about 8 or 9 o'clock getting into the hotel. But performing at the Gun Arena now, or whatever it is now.
I remember that.
Was gosh, what my boy's name? What's the rapper's name? I'm forgetting his name. Lil Wayne. You saw Weezy? Yeah, it was Weezy and what are they called?
Juvenile. That's the Cash Money Millionaires. The Cash Money Millionaires.
Yep. Cash Money Millionaires.
That's how we started out.
And in my room happened to be right beside. You know how you get a door that's adjoining to another room? Right. My room was beside theirs. I could smell smoke coming up. I had to put a towel in and all that. And them brothers didn't go to sleep forever. And I asked the lady, I said, excuse me, could you get me another room? She said, there are no more rooms, sir. Would you like for us to come up and say something to him? No.
You're like, who could play?
Stop playing, lady. Stop playing. I don't want you to come and say, what, the who? No, I'm good. Did
you catch him in the hallway? They must have had those tall tees on.
I did.
Man.
Coming in the hallway was Lil Wayne and Juvie. Yeah. And Juvie was coming up. They looked like Juvie's eyes looked like he had been smoking on the bushes. Not with bushes, because his eyes was so glassy. I was like, dang. And I said, Rick Pitino was looking at all these kids when we walked in the hotel like, where are we? This is a rich car.
You know what he was thinking? Why are rappers here? Let's go. I thought this place was classy. Let's go.
what's good? What is going on?
What, these rappers got money like that? Like, what?
Yeah. They got money like that.
No, but he was thinking that shit. Like, who are these dudes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Yeah, that's how we started out, man. He's a great. Lil Wayne's up there for sure. He's one of the greats. That's what's up. What's up. So you met a couple of greats then. Well, you met one of the greatest guy to sell records, I guess, in MC Hammer. I don't think I call one of the greatest rappers, but you met one of and Lil Wayne's one of the greatest.
No, but but Jay-Z has had amazing, staying power when it's come to. Is he the best rapper ever from staying power and being around and still being relevant?
I think so.
If Jay-Z
he showed that you can
show on right now, it would be a packed house. Exactly.
And he's shown that he's one of the few artists in hip hop that there's longevity in this genre. This isn't, hip hop as a genre is young if you compare it to other ones, but at the same time, I feel like everyone thinks it's just a young man's sport, which it is, but he carved out a niche where he has his own space in that longevity. This is going to be he's going into his fourth decade here. I mean, he hasn't dropped an album since 2017, but he gets on songs, he does verses. And if he drops an album in this decade, it's going to be four decades of Jay-Z music, and a lot of number one albums.
And he's so distinctive. And when you hear him, and it's like, I wouldn't think that Kanye West is a rapper. I think Kanye West is a great entertainer, and he brings things together. Like you were telling me about,
makes a lot of beats. Yeah.
Just like you telling me about the picture with Jaylen Brown and Kanye.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Right before we started recording, he posted that on Instagram with Kanye.
Oh my, really? I don't know what their system is, but I know that Brown is under his umbrella because he signed down with his entertainment group.
Donna Sports Agency.
But
that's right.
What does that mean? I don't know.
I think what everyone's going to be scratching their head about is one of those pictures. There's a third guy in there. His name's Kyrie Irving. I think that's the part people are going to say, whoa, Celtics fans. If you haven't seen it, you're seeing it now. I mean, I'm sure by the time you watch this episode, you know exactly what we're talking about. But yeah, that we talked about that right before we hit record. But man, we'll see what happens. We'll dive into that next week. How about that? There's a tease for you guys because there's going to be a lot of talk about that.
That will be our teaser. So anyways, we say we're gonna leave you guys, keep it on 100. Anything go down. And if you guys have anything that you would like for us to ever talk about, any subject that, you might think about, me and Josue are pretty diverse. And we would love to use a subject that you guys wanted to talk about. If anything,
especially something we haven't even touched, like anything at all.
Anything at all, subscribe, but I think that's what we want to do. Our next couple of broadcasts, what we want to do, we want to get our fan base to ask a question or a subject matter that they want us to talk about, and we're going to try to dissect it. And it could be about basketball, it could be about women, it could be about anything right now that's out here. And like I said, we keep it on 100. So
that's what we do.
We're going to give you our opinion. So again, hit that like button, subscribe, but also send us a couple of questions. And we're gonna hit something off big here and start doing a couple of podcasts on what you guys really want instead of us towards you.
Doesn't have to be NBA or Celtics based at all. Let us know. We'll get into that next week. How about that? And then of course, any sort of developments from the NBA, Celtics, we got you covered. As always, here at CLNS Media, on YouTube, Cedric Maxwell Podcast. Subscribe on iTunes, every platform that has podcasts available. We're there, Cedric Maxwell Podcast, guys. And again, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
All right.